What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, out of all the stories I do, the ones that really bother me the most are the ones that talk about the abuse of a child. This woman right here is 32-year-old Ashanti Jackson of Clarksville, Kentucky. This woman is the stepmother of this little girl right here, Melanie Stewart, 3 years old. Well, she was 3 years old before she tragically lost her life, because this woman here, last summer, beat her to death. I'm going to play this short video, and I'm going to come back and tell you a couple of things you didn't know about this case. And I'm also going to give you my perspective, and I'm not going to hold back. Just because somebody has a child and you bring that child into a relationship where you're married, just because you have a partner that you love and you think is right for you, may not be the right viable option for your child. Take a look at this and we'll come back and get on it.
Well, Vicky, according to court documents, Jackson claimed the child hit her head after having a seizure and falling off the bed at a Clarksville motel. But doctors at Norton Children's Hospital, where the girl died, said that wouldn't cause the significant brain injuries which led to the death of 3-year-old Melanie Stewart. It started with a 911 call from inside a room at this motel in Clarksville last summer. 3-year-old Melanie Stewart was staying there with her biological father and Ashanti Jackson. According to court documents, Jackson, the little girl's stepmother, told the call taker, quote, "My stepdaughter, she has seizures real bad, and she just caught a seizure, fell and hit her head, and now she's like not breathing properly." The child was rushed to the hospital but died 2 days later. Melani's mother, Destiny Stewart, lives in Kokomo, Indiana.
Actually, she was living with me, but she was with them because her brother drowned here in Kokomo.
Court records indicate Clarksville police were immediately suspicious of Jackson's story. According to the Jefferson County coroner, the little girl suffered blunt impact injuries to her head in the setting of battered child syndrome, was assaulted, and her death ruled a homicide.
They had let us know that, they didn't believe her. Certain things on her body didn't add up to Ashanti's story.
In a probable cause affidavit, a Clarksville detective lays out this chain of events. Ashanti Jackson assaults the little girl in the hotel room. In an effort to bring her back to consciousness, Jackson places little Melanie in a cold bath instead of immediately calling 911. That decision created a significant time delay in medical treatment for a severe head injury. And as if that wasn't enough, the 3-year-old also suffered a traumatic stomach injury.
There are some wicked and evil people in the world that will hurt your children just to hurt you.
Before Melanie died, staff at Norton Children's recorded her heartbeat. That recording is now inside the teddy bear her mom held during our interview. While Stewart says she's glad Jackson has been arrested, creating a path toward justice for Melanie, she's left to grieve the memory of a little girl who, despite developmental disabilities, loved being a kid.
Look at me. Look at mommy.
She was one of the happiest kids ever. She didn't know she was disabled. She ran around with the rest of the kids like there was no problem. I miss her.
The stepmother now faces charges including felony aggravated battery and neglect of a dependent, resulting in death. No trial date has been set, but when it happens, the little girl's mom says she'll be here to confront the woman who allegedly killed her daughter. Reporting live in the studio, Randall Cam, WLKY News.
Guys, you've seen what it said that this woman did to this baby. Now I'm gonna tell you something before I jump in this story. I got a little girl that just turned 8. She is my heart. I remember when she was young and I used to pick her up from daycare when she was 4, about 3 or 4. Same age as little Melanie, pictured here. I would put her in a car seat just like that. And she would talk to me and tell me everything she did in school. And she would ask me questions like she was smarter than me. I bet you don't know this. Or she'd ask me, what is this and what is that? And I'd answer. And she would always say, oh, wow, good job. Like she was the teacher, like she was teaching me something. And I'll never forget that. And those are special times we had when she was young and most vulnerable. And I said to myself a while ago, no matter what, just seeing the gleam in her eye and then the happiness and then the curiosity and just wondering about things and just the excitement of just learning something new about herself or the people around her or just the environment. It really took me back to showing how innocent a child is. And I told myself, no matter what, I would try my best to preserve that beauty in her and curiosity and wonder in her as long as I could, because as adults, we lose that. We do. It takes a special person to raise a special needs child. And that's real. Anybody out there that listens to me that got a special needs child, shout out. You know what I'm saying? For real. Shout out to you. Because a lot of us don't know how it is and how demanding it is. And that's what the reason why I'm bringing this up is when you choose a mate, regardless of how you feel about them, whether the child is special needs or not, what's right for you may not be right for your kids. We see this a lot, guys, in these videos I do. You guys been rocking with me for a while. We think about these type of things. That's what I try to do when I do these stories. I want you to start thinking. Think outside of your heart or outside of your loins. Good sex don't equate to being a good parent or a good man or a good woman. And a lot of us get caught up in the feeling of love than actual love itself and the contribution and the work and the time it takes to put in to grow that everlasting bond. Some of us out here just don't want to be alone, and we'll take any and any old thing that come along and think we can change it, and we can't. This woman is 32 years old, y'all. Let me read this to you real fast. Said the day Milani was hospitalized, the Department of Child Services took emergency custody of the child's 3 siblings, ages 6, 9, and 13. So she had children of her own. It's funny how they ain't get their head beat in, but this little 3-year-old girl from this other woman who you didn't like got hers beat in. See that? The court documents say the children said in interviews that Jackson, pictured here, would often physically punish them. Interviews also said Milani was forced to sleep on the floor because she often pooped in the bed. See that? Police say they did not believe the father was involved in the abuse and that it happened solely in the care of Jackson. Boom. Told you. Now, I don't know if little Milani was fluent in her speaking or what special needs she was. But that type of abuse should not be tolerated. And it's messed up if the guy didn't know. Seriously. It's messed up. And the part that's messed up is a child can't really explain to you a lot of times what's going on. And you go off of an adult that's in charge of caring for her and they tell you anything. Phone call. What'd she say? My stepdaughter fell off the bed and she kind of like hit her head and she not breathing right. But when they seen the baby, ran tests on the baby at the hospital, baby had signs of what? Battered child syndrome, meaning the bruises and all that stuff was not in line with what you said. Detective broke it down. Beat the baby up. Baby looked messed up. You know, after she came out of that rage, that baby like looking all crazy. Immediately, another thing we see, take him and put him in the bathtub. Run him in cold water. Try to wake him back up. that don't take the trauma away after you inflict that on a baby that's defenseless. What else we hear, y'all? Oh, the baby fell. Baby fell, hit his head all the time. Baby was having a seizure and fell over. Where was you at when this happened? Where was you at when this happened? Did you try to stop the baby from falling? Where was you? The hotel room ain't no that big. You seen what it looked like. It's one of them one-room spots. She didn't like the mom. Another thing, and I was always cautious about that type of stuff. As a father, like this man, I was worried all the time about who I brought around my kids. If I can't get along with you, I'm not going to have my kids around you when I'm not there. I dated a girl one time, for real. It was the fastest relationship I ever had. After us saying we are officially a couple. I dated a girl one time, right? Went to work for 12 hours. I come home. My son tells me she was quizzing me about my past relationships. You know what I did, right? Out of here. What you asking the kid for? He was young. 8, 9 years old. What you asking him for? Asking questions that she had already asked me and like trying to get, what? Get out of here. That was the most extreme experience I've ever had, having somebody, around my kid. But this right here is a common occurrence. Don't like the mom, take it out on the baby. See that with dudes a lot. And this is the one thing I want to tell you, whether you're a man or woman out there, you are looking at this person from a sexual standpoint and from an adult loving standpoint, not from the standpoint in the eyes of a child that has to look up to this person physically and has to respect them. And even though children see the vibe of the person not liking them. So I'm gonna tell you something. You think kids are young and defenseless and all this stuff? Yeah, they are to an effect. But you know what else they are? They smart. They good people readers. Children can read people. They know to stay away from a person. They read, they feel that energy. That's one of the defense mechanisms God gave them as a young age, to stay away from danger. Something happened one time. Oop, okay, that burns me. I ain't gonna touch that no more. Same thing with people. This person right here is giving off a certain type of energy that I don't like, and it scares me. I don't understand it, but I'll stay away from them because I don't like how they make me feel. This woman right here is trash. Now the woman, the mother, said that the daughter stayed with him because the baby drowned wherever they was at. The brother drowned. I think he was pictured drowned. Another place, stayed with him. And I'm gonna tell you something. And guys, you can back me up on this. Do you know how hard it is as a man to get your kids and have them? It's very important for you when these children grow up and have a mom that if you're going to meet somebody, they have to have some type of motherly skill besides looking good and being a good wife to you. Now, granted, they was in the hotel. I don't know if they was in transition or not. And I'm not going to hold that against nobody because everybody start from somewhere. As long as you constantly elevating yourself with one common goal to get out of that situation and a better situation for them kids, I have no problem with that. But this right here, this problem, how she treated that little baby, I do. You a girl yourself. I bet you if somebody talked about a man beating the hell out of a kid and all this stuff, or another woman beating the kid up, you'd be right there. Ooh, girl, that's messed up. But you the devil in disguise. That's the thing. It's easy to look over there and point and say, look what they doing. But behind you is the damage of what they're doing right there to somebody else. You ain't no damn different. This sickens me. It sickens me. That girl needed more attention than a normal child would because she had some type of skills, some type of skill deficiency where children that young, you have to monitor them and understand, what their disability is and their development because she's getting older at the time, not beat the hell out of her. We don't know how it is to be special needs because a lot of us don't have those type of disabilities. Did you hear a woman say she run with the kids like everybody else? She didn't know she had a disability. She thought she was normal. And that's really good. With the abuse this girl took physically, I can only imagine the verbal abuse she took when nobody was there. I don't know what to say, y'all. I don't. This is sad. Just looking at her, man, she's cute. Got a little Jiffy Pop on and stuff. She repping. You know what I mean? But I remember when my daughter was that age. And if something ever happened to her, I would never forgive myself. And I damn sure would have obliterated anybody that had did that to her. May Melanie Stewart rest in peace. I just wanted to share this with you. We got to be smarter out here, guys, when we selecting people. Just because somebody's right for us don't mean they the right option for our children. And I said that in other videos. I'm reiterating. If you're thinking about dating a girl or a guy and you got to have your kids around them and stuff, watch the relationship closely from your child's point of view, not from what the person's point of view is. Because your kids, a lot of times, with them being able to read energy and read people, they give you the signs that you caught up in love don't see. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.